All right, guys, today I'm going to check out the Katana. All right, guys, today I'm going to check out the Katana Banana. All right, guys, today I'm going to check out the Katana Artist Mark II. Let's see what all the hype's about. Well, thanks for joining me for today's episode, guys. I really appreciate it. I've been wanting to check one of these out for a while, and I've seen a lot of different videos on this unit online, and I had a Katana on the show, must have been a year and a half ago or so, and it wasn't the Artist Mark II. It was a different rendition of it. It was an earlier rendition. And I got to be honest with you, I didn't care for it. I thought it was really cold and anemic and thin sounding, and it just didn't work for me. Now, I've heard that they've since improved it with the Artist Mark II edition. So let's go ahead and check out this particular rendition of it. And the videos I saw on it online honestly weren't that good either. It just sounded kind of dull and lifeless. And it could be that the people that did the demos, they dialed it in for their taste and it just didn't work for me. I don't know, but we're going to find out today how this sounds. So let me put everything at noon here and switch cameras, show you what I'm doing. And yeah, let's put the contour down here. 100 watt, let's go with the 100 watt setting and put the gain at noon. So let's start out with, well, I'm going to skip the clean because I just want to, you know, get right to the good stuff. And no overdrive is engaged. I will try to use the effects and pedals and all the stuff that's involved in the unit. Now, I don't have the software hooked up. I didn't download it. I'm not going to do a deep dive on that. I'm just going to basically just test everything on this as it comes out of the box and let you know what my first impressions are. So let's get started on the, where are we at? The Crunch channel now. Oh, and by the way, I'm running it through the Mesa 212 cab. All right, so that's the Crunch, and it's pretty dull. So let's dial it in. All right, decent sounding Crunch channel. I need a little more, so let's engage the overdrive now, or they call it the booster, and see what that's like. Well, that definitely added some grit to it. So let's mess around with the booster knob and see how high we can push it. All right, not bad. So let's mess around with the contour and what else do we have here? Yeah, the contour and presence. All right, so not too bad. You know what I'm going to do is let's turn off the booster, and I'm going to engage one of my overdrive pedals. I'll engage the Grid Slammer. I just want to compare a real pedal to the built-in booster on the Katana now. It definitely has more bite and more aggression. So it seems a little bit thin now. Let me adjust for some fullness here. Let me mess around with the unit and see if I can get a little more fullness out of it. All right, yeah, that's better. Kind of dig that. Let me mess around with one more knob. Let me see if I can feather in a little bit of that booster, because the booster doesn't seem like it's doing any cutting. It seems like it's just like a clean boost on the front end. It's not doing a lot of tone shaping. I just feel like it's kind of just adding a little more input to the front end. Now, in the software, maybe there's some more settings you can use, but I'm not using the software like I said in this video. I'm just testing it out as it sits. All right, so feathering in a little bit of the built-in booster actually helped quite a bit. It filled it up a little bit more and made it more aggressive. And because I did that, I was also able to adjust this contour, and it just sounds a lot better with the contour on number 2 anyways, now that I have everything set up the way that I do. Not too shabby, to be honest with you, not too shabby at all. Now let's check out the brown sound. I'm going to turn the overdrive back off, and let's check out the brown sound. Oh, something I just noticed, it's got a cab resonance. It's, what is it? Vintage, modern, and deep. Let me mess around with that. I think it's on modern right now. Let me screw around with that. Let's see how the booster works with the brown sound channel. Not bad. It adds some low end to it, and it's fuller, but I don't know if let's test that compared to the overdrive. So let me play a few riffs on this, and I'll switch to the overdrive pedal. Now we're talking. All right, so let's redial in the amp a little bit more now that I have a real overdrive engaged. Yeah, I very much prefer a real overdrive pedal over what this comes with as far as a boost is concerned. Now, again, with the software, maybe there's some more parameters you can adjust with the built-in boost, but so far I very much prefer the overdrive pedal, an exterior one. So I'm using the Grid Slammer, and it just sounds excellent with it. Great feel, lots of great attack on the top end, and pick attack and aggression and stuff. And this thing's kind of surprising me. It's sounding way better than I thought it would. I thought I was going to tear this thing to shreds, but I mean, again, compared to the first experience I had with their earlier version of this amp, I was like, yeah, we'll see what happens. But so far, I'm actually pleasantly surprised at this. It sounds pretty freaking good. A couple riffs on this channel, and then we'll switch over to the lead channel. Yeah, I mean, what is this? $537, brand new, and this thing actually sounds pretty freaking good. Let's check out some of the effects. All right, the delay is actually pretty cool, and then you have a tap tempo here, so you can adjust, what kind of tempo you want. So let's mess around with that real quick. That's actually pretty cool. I like the delay. I'm sure in the software you can adjust more parameters, but as it sits, it's actually pretty freaking cool. I think there's a mod. All right, so let's look at the chorus and see what that is like as well. All right, I don't know exactly what setting I was on, but you know, it's mod, so it probably goes through like some flangers, phasers, choruses, and stuff. But there's some pretty cool settings there. I actually like it. I think with some deep diving through the software, it would actually be pretty freaking cool. Man, I have to admit, I'm pretty impressed with this so far. It's actually really good. That said, I'm going to shoot it out with an amp at the end of this video, so stay tuned for that. And let's see how it compares to a real amp. Let's do the lead and see what that's like. I actually like the lead as well. It's a little different, a little more compression, I think, a little more saturation, and the feel is really good. So let's dial in some delay and do a quick little riff with it and see what we got. Sounds freaking good, man. Really freaking good. Man, I'm surprised. For a little over 500 bucks, you can get something that has all these different effects. You have all these different presets as well. So you can have, let's see, 4 presets. So you can have a clean, 2 crunches, and maybe a lead or whatever you want, you know, and set up the effects. I'm sure you can set up all the effects the way you want and save each preset. And then I think there's a foot switch that you can switch through as well. So yeah, I mean, it's a pretty freaking cool amplifier. It really is, with the built-in effects and everything. The only thing that I would get if I was to buy something like this is I would definitely get my own overdrive, because the overdrive in here is decent, but I'd prefer to have my own real pedal. And I'm using my Rev G8 noise gate right now, and I know there's a noise gate in the unit, but you know, I don't think I can access it without the software, so I'm not going to mess around with that right now. This isn't a deep dive, it's just a quick look at this amp, and I like the lead channel. I think it sounds good. Let's go back to the brown sound, and I'm going to shoot that out now with the MT15. So when you see the MT15 on the corner here, that means I'm playing that. When you don't see it, that means I'm playing the Katana. Both of them sounded really good. I didn't notice a big difference between them regarding the feel. I mean, they're voiced differently. I mean, the Katana has its own voicing and everything, and so does the MT15. So they sounded different, but I think they both sounded great. So, man, I'm really surprised at how good this thing sounds and feels. I really am. Like I said earlier, I was expecting to rip this thing to shreds, you know, and I didn't have the intention of doing that. That's not why I wanted to do the video, but just based on my last experience with one of these, the older model, I was like, I don't know if I'm going to like this, but they have definitely made a lot of improvements with this, and I think for the price, you can't go wrong. I mean, a little over 500 bucks, you get a 100-watt amp that has all these great features in it, and the software, you could dial everything in and fine-tune it all. You got the different presets. You get a foot switch, you know, I guess that's additional or whatever. And I'm running a real cab with it, and it sounds really good. Like, I'm surprised. And if you want, you can run your own effects through it, and that's what I have here. So I have it hooked up to my effects loop and my pedal board and everything. So I'm going to do a quick mix with it right now, and just let's see how it sounds in a full mix. And I'll be using my effect pedals with it because I don't have the foot switch to switch between everything while I'm doing this mix. So we've already heard the effects that it comes with. So let's see how it sounds with a real effect pedal board and see how that works as well. Not bad. I mean, this is just a quick dial-in too. Like if I spent more time with it and maybe got the software, you know, hooked up and everything and just did some more deep diving, I could probably get this thing to sound even a lot better. So, I mean, I'm really impressed with the first impression so far anyways with this. I mean, it's a huge improvement over the first one that I tried a couple years ago. This thing is a lot better. And the sound and the feel are actually really good. I wasn't expecting this. I really wasn't, because I see people commenting about these all the time, and I was just like, man, I don't know. That just doesn't seem like a really good unit. You know, you look at the price, and I judged it based on my first experience with one. but they've definitely made a lot of improvements with this. So I have to tip my hat to Boss for making such a good unit. I mean, this thing is actually pretty freaking legit. Would I prefer it over an amp? No, I like my amps better. I like the different voicings and different things I get out of my amps. But if I had to do like a jam at a friend's house, or maybe a smaller show where I just didn't want to drag all my stuff, you know, up the stairs and to the gig and all that, I mean, I think this would actually be a pretty good replacement for a live rig. You know, now if I was playing a stadium tour, yeah, I'd probably bring real amps and stuff like that. If I was that big, I'd probably have a crew to handle it all too. But I mean, if you're doing local shows with this, I think it would be a great unit for that. It's light too. This thing's really super light and easy to dial in and set up. And again, like with the presets, I mean, you have quite a bit to choose from here with effects and the way that you want to set up all your presets. So I'm going to score this thing very, very high. I think it's really good. I'd give it an 8 out of 10. I really would. I think it sounds much better than I expected. So if you have one, please let me know what your thoughts are on yours and how close I got to dialing it in the way that you do anyways. And that was all with the Brown sound. And again, this is the Artist Mark II series, okay? So just so you guys know. And tell me what you think of how I dialed it in the video, and you know, hopefully I did a good job for you guys. I just wanted to do a quick video with it, and I'm glad I compared it to the MT15 as well, because it's a lower priced amp, and I think both of them sounded excellent. So it's just a matter of just which voicing you liked better. But yeah, really good unit. Last look at the settings here. So if you want to take a look at these settings and try them out for yourself, go ahead and do so. Well, anyways, thanks for watching. I really appreciate it. I hope you enjoyed the episode. And to all my Patreon supporters and subscribers, thank you guys so much. I really appreciate you guys. And if you're new to the channel and you haven't subscribed yet, please do, because I do a lot of cool stuff here. I dial in amps. I do even, you know, digital gear like this, and quad Cortex, Tonex, Kemper, you know, Helix, all that stuff here as well. And I just give you the unprocessed audio and let you make the decision as to whether that piece of gear works for you. So if you like brutally honest and fair demos, this is a really good channel for you, and I hope you come back for some more videos. Well, I got a lot more stuff coming up, and I will see you on the next one.